Level 1, $20,000. You make $10 an hour. You know this number not because you calculated it, but because it follows you everywhere. Into the grocery store, into the gas station, into every conversation you avoid about what you do for a living. After taxes, you take home roughly $400 a month. Rent is $750 for a room. Not an apartment, a room. In someone else's house with someone else's rules and someone else's noise through the wall at 2 a.m. You eat what costs less, rice, ramen, whatever sits on the bottom shelf. You stop pretending you choose these things. You don't choose. The number chooses for you. $10 an hour doesn't give you preferences. It gives you math. Your car has 190,000 miles on it. The check engine light has been on so long it feels like a feature. You put $20 of gas in at a time because filling the tank means skipping something else. Everything at this level is a trade. Gas or groceries? Groceries or the phone bill? The phone bill or the pair of shoes falling apart since March? You're at the register buying toothpaste and a loaf of bread. The card declines. Not because you're broke. Because the 1140 transfer you made this morning hasn't cleared yet. You step aside. You open the app. You refresh it twice. The cashier waits. The person behind you waits. And you feel something shrink inside you that has nothing to do with money. Your friends from high school split into two directions. Some went to college. Some got better jobs. You see their lives on your phone while sitting in a parking lot, eating a $5 meal between shifts. You don't hate them. You stop comparing because comparing at $20,000 feels like staring at the sun. It doesn't help. It just burns. You Google jobs at midnight. Every listing that pays more wants experience you can't get without already being there. The trap isn't laziness. It's the loop. Work, pay, survive, repeat. And the thing that keeps you awake isn't tonight. It's the fear that this loop is permanent. That this is just how it stays. The first rule, at $20,000, you don't manage money. Money manages you. Level 2, $35,000. The first salary that feels like stability. Not good money. Real money. The kind with benefits, direct deposit, and a title on your email signature that makes you feel like you belong somewhere. You move into your own apartment. Not a room, a full apartment. One bedroom, a small kitchen, a door that locks behind you. And the silence on the other side belongs entirely to you. That silence feels like the most expensive thing you've ever owned. You can eat without calculating first. You fill your gas tank all the way, and watching it hit full feels like luxury. You buy new shoes. Not expensive, just new. And somehow you walk differently the next day. But $35,000 is still tight. The panic of $20,000 is gone, replaced by something quieter, a low awareness that one bad month could pull you back. You start noticing people earning more than you. Not much more, just enough that their weekends look different. Their apartments look different. Their stress looks different. You're not jealous. You're aware. For the first time, you stop looking down and start looking forward. The second rule, $35,000 is where survival ends and possibility begins. Level 3, $50,000. You're average now. The version of average most people eventually become. You did everything right. Degree, job, direct deposit every 2 weeks. And somehow right feels ordinary. Your fridge is full. Your bills are paid. You can go to dinner without checking your account first. What once felt impossible now feels normal. And normal is the problem. One night you run the numbers. 30 more years at this pace. Same raises, same trajectory. The result isn't exciting. It's survivable. And that realization doesn't hit like fear. It arrives as disappointment. A slow realization that surviving and thriving are not the same thing. You look behind and see $20,000. You feel grateful. You look ahead and see $100,000. You feel hungry. And sitting between gratitude and ambition is one of the most uncomfortable places in life. The third rule, $50,000, is the mirror. You see exactly where you are and exactly where you're not. Level 4, $75,000. Something shifts. Not in your bank account. In your mornings. You wake up and money isn't the first thing on your mind anymore. For the first time, you think about what you want before you think about what you can afford. You move into a better apartment. A second bedroom. A small office. A neighborhood where you actually sleep through the night. You buy groceries without checking the total. You book flights without waiting for sales. Small changes. Massive feelings. You're not rich. But the math finally works. Comfortably. Quietly. Without constant negotiation. People begin calling you successful. You don't argue. But the word still feels borrowed. Because you know what $100,000 looks like from here, and $75,000 still feels like the waiting room. The fourth rule, $75,000 is where money gets quiet. And in that quiet, you finally hear yourself. Level 5, $100,000. 6 figures, the number everyone chases. You think crossing it will feel like arriving. It doesn't. It feels like walking through a door into a room filled with even more doors. The apartment is better. The food is better. The clothes are better. But the biggest change isn't what you own. It's the options you suddenly have. And options without clarity can feel just as confusing as limitation. You sit with the number you chased for years and realize something strange. Having it feels nothing like wanting it. The chase was the engine. The destination was never the point. The fifth rule, 6 figures is a door, not a destination. Level 6, $150,000. Life changes visibly. The vacations are real. The car is newer. The apartment is nicer. But the biggest difference isn't material. It's freedom. Can you leave your job without panic? Can you take a month off? Can you say no to things that drain your energy? For the first time, the answer starts becoming yes. Not completely, but almost. The sixth rule, $150,000, is where money stops being the conversation and starts becoming freedom. Level 7, $250,000. Different world. Different language. You talk about tax strategies instead of tax refunds, assets instead of savings, investments instead of paychecks. The people around you earn similar numbers, not by design, by gravity. The higher you climb, the smaller the circle becomes. And the smaller the circle becomes, the quieter the room gets. The seventh rule. The higher the salary, the smaller the circle. Level 8. $500,000. Money becomes invisible. You stop measuring life in dollars. You measure it in time. What saves time? What costs time? What earns while you sleep? The struggle that once defined your life becomes a distant memory. Not gone. Just far away. The eighth rule. $500,000 doesn't buy happiness. It buys distance from struggle. Level 9, $1,000, $1 million a year. You don't say it out loud. The number lives in documents, investments, and boardrooms, not conversations. Money no longer measures your worth. It measures your reach, your influence, your ability to create opportunities, not just for yourself, but for others. And suddenly, you remember the person making 10 an hour, sitting in a parking lot, eating a cheap meal between shifts, thinking life is about the number, but it never was. It's about what the number does to the distance between who you are and who you become. The final rule. Money changes your circumstances. Growth changes your life.